Hey everyone, I'm Gabriel Zamora, and today I will be showing you how getting the perfect, flawless finish isn't about the right product, it is about the right tool. I feel like after watching the VMAs, I wanna look like Beyonce, I wanna look like Rihanna. I can't afford a like $2,000 makeup artist, but I can afford really good tools. I'm gonna use my drugstore foundation, and I'm gonna show you exactly how getting a flawless look isn't that hard. I will show you how using the right brush to apply the correct product is gonna literally show you the difference between a good side and a bad side. So let's play a little game. We're gonna play right brush and wrong brush. I'm gonna show you how applying the same product on my face on the right side with the right brush is gonna look a lot better than applying the same product on my left side with the wrong brush. You will be able to tell the difference. I had to fix it, you guys. I had to fix it, but I will show you exactly how bad this side looked, okay? So the first product I'm gonna show you is gonna be the So Susan buffing brush. What I like this brush for is to buff in my foundation and my concealer, and I'm gonna show you the difference between a buffing brush that's intended for these types of products as opposed to a regular stippling brush that might be just a little too loose. So on my left side, I'm just gonna grab a regular stippling brush. And the reason I don't like such a loose stippling brush is because it almost leaves your face looking streaky. And you kind of have to work in more, and a lot of the product gets caught up in the bristles. So you want something that's gonna be a little bit more dense. And you generally just waste more product because it's all getting caught up in the brush. So now I have to apply more product. So some areas might even have double the product as opposed to having the same amount gradual product. And you see when you like press it into your face, it just kind of like doesn't have like that resistance that you want from an already dense brush being pressed onto your face. Now let's start with my So Susan buffing brush. When you play with a buffing brush, you want to start towards the center and place the product outward, and you kind of want to do small circular motions just to make sure you really blend it, or you can press it. Either or, you're gonna get that kind of airbrush look that maybe a kind of makeup sponge might help you. This is kind of like a brush and a sponge mixed together, which is pretty legit. And then what's good about this brush is I'm also gonna buff in my concealer. I like to place my concealer with my finger first, and I'll just place it generally where I want it. And as opposed to going in and like spending time blending it with like your finger, you can just take the same brush and you can almost pat it. You can also circle the outer edges so it blends a lot better into the foundation and just really buff that product into the under eye. So on my left side, you can see I just kind of stippled. The product is already kind of building up in my laugh line, you guys, and that is one of my biggest like insecurities. I hate when my product builds up in my laugh lines. And what I like about a buffing brush is that it really buffs in the product. And although you still have the same lines, it doesn't like shove it in there. And because that area has a crease, it doesn't leave so much product there, so I'm actually able to move it around. You can see this side, which I use my So Susan brush, isn't as creased. And now I'm gonna show you exactly how I use my So Susan powder brush. What I like about this brush is that it's not such a giant powder brush. I'm so used to using such like big powder brushes, and if you are more so looking to place a product, I feel like there's so many different sizes. Like you can also use this size, but I don't put powder on my entire face. So what I like about this size is that it's smaller. I'm only gonna really place it in the areas that I want to place it. One thing about this brush, it's not gonna help blend out any other product. So if you're about to put on some powder, if you get your So Susan brush and you really just wanna go back in and you're like, you know what, let's just blend it out a little. As it's placing product, it blends, I guess, your foundation and whatever kind of other product you may have underneath. So see, the product sits right on top of it. I don't have to worry about it getting into my eye. And I'm just gonna set that under eye area. It gets perfectly around your under eye. So that way, you don't have to worry about poking your eye, and you can see exactly, and you can actually get really close to your under eye lash area. Okay, you guys, so this is my left side. I placed it with a kind of regular powder brush. I feel like I don't like where it places it because the base of the brush starts here and here's the tip. So I can't generally go right there without the brush bending. So I can't like really place the product in there. And I just feel like this whole area is highlighted when I just wanted it to concentrate closer to the eye. And before I move on to my last brush, I'm gonna fill my brows so I don't scare y'all as much, just so I don't look bald. I feel like my face is bald. So let me fill in my brows real quick before I show you my last brush. And last, but certainly not least, is gonna be my blush angled brush by So Susan. What I like about this brush, I'm gonna use it as my blush and my bronzer, as opposed to having to use a blush brush and a bronzer blush. I like it because it's gonna be angled and you're gonna see how it applies product so much better and sculpts your face just a lot better. Okay, and then I'm just gonna grab an angled brush so I can show you the difference between this one and this one. I feel like this one's gonna be really loose, which I don't like, but I wanna be able to apply a brush and a bronzer with it, just so you guys can see the difference between a good brush and a not so good brush. So I'm gonna apply it here. Oh, see, because it's so big, you guys, I feel like it applied blush here. Okay, so now I'm gonna apply my blush with my So Susan angled blush sculpting brush. And I feel like blush brushes were so designed to be so circular and go to the apples, and I feel like blush has changed in placement, and I think that's really smart to do an angled brush, because I'm generally gonna put it here and start off with stippling motions. See, this brush is so much easier because I feel the bristles because it's so dense, as opposed to a not as dense brush where even though you feel this part is so loose that when it's on your face, you don't feel it as much, even though it's applying product. So because this is so dense, you feel everything. And I'm like, okay, don't apply product there. Like, I don't want it to apply product up here. So I'm gonna angle it like this because I feel it, that it's only the bottom of the brush. The difference between the bad brush and the So Susan brush, I feel like the bad blush, it's kind of like everywhere, and I don't feel like as much was put on my face, even though I did the same amount of application. I feel like the So Susan brush, you can see more of like that flush sculpted cheekbone. And then with the same brushes, I'm gonna actually apply bronzer. See, this one is so large that it's almost creating an overall dark. Even though I went on an angle to make it more precise, it still spreads when you press it up. See, now I'm gonna try my So Susan brush. See, I'm doing the same patting motion that I did on the other side, but now I can see more of a concentrated product placement, and I can blend it out to the areas that I want to blend it out. And as you can see, you guys, my right side is with my So Susan brush. I feel like now you can see a more sculpted cheek, and you can see more of like a placed hollow. As you look head on, you can see like my cheekbone just feels like it goes higher, as opposed to this side, the bronzer is kind of like everywhere. I don't like that it doesn't look as defined head on. So head on, you see a more sculpted look on this side, as opposed to this side. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you like this video, because I feel like I even learned a lot. I didn't even know I had bad brushes in my brush tool. So make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you guys like these types of videos where we show you kind of like a correct application and incorrect application, or what people think is correct and it may not be so well, leave down below. Maybe we can show you how to contour, how to apply brush, how to apply lashes correctly, and how people apply them incorrectly. Let us know in the comment section down below. You can follow me on Instagram at the Gabriel Zamora. You can follow me on YouTube here, the Gabriel Zamora, and you can follow me anywhere, Snapchat, Gabriel Zamora, Twitter, Gabriel Zamora, and until next time, bye everyone.